Hello.
Hey, Joan, how are you? Oh, I should say Mrs. Evans.
All good, all good. I am very well. Oh, I love the pictures in the background there too. That looks really cool.
Thanks.
So welcome, Angelo Rossetti. So excited to have you here as our special guest. Two-time world record breaker for the longest tennis rally, longest tennis volley. Um, so excited to hear about that. I'm also so excited to hear about how you started with this. I know that when you and your twin brother, Ettore, were 3 years old, correct me if I'm wrong, but on
Yep.
Sunday afternoons, you used to go to your grandparents' house and
Yeah.
he had a ping pong table set up for you.
Yeah.
And you guys were obviously still little, so he had little step stools or whatever for you guys to play on.
Yeah.
So you guys started with that and then didn't begin actually playing tennis until you were about 16 years old.
Yeah. 15. Yeah. Age 15. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that is amazing how um, here you are, and especially these days, I feel like a lot of times kids start really, really early. You started playing ping pong young, but then really got into the actual game of tennis, which led you into the Guinness Book of World Records. But there's also more to it than that, the whole mental game. So anyway, if you want to take it from here, because I
Yeah.
love to hear the story.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Evans, for making this happen. And hey, everyone. So for everyone in the room, if you play tennis, that means you got a jump start on when I started playing. So you're way ahead of where I was when I was your age, and that truly means you can accomplish anything. And the second thing is with parents, as far as encouraging your child, you believing in your child is the single most important thing to their success. Uh, Not to tell them, believe in yourself, but I believe in you. Because if you have someone saying, I believe in you, you can really do anything. I had, fortunately, a twin brother who said that to me, and I said that back to him. We both believe we can accomplish something really special. And yeah, as far as the age that you start tennis or any sport, you don't have to specialize at an early age. Specialization, happens at the earliest, maybe between age 12 and 14. Sometimes a little bit later. But I will say my brother and I both were all sport athletes. And we also really liked school and liked to study. So we challenged our mind with more schoolwork, and we challenged, you know, our bodies with playing sports. And what happens is you become an athlete. You want to become an athlete first, and then a tennis player second. You want to become an athlete first, and then a basketball player second. So that's why gym is a lot of different sports. It's not just one sport. That way you can learn balance, timing, coordination, movement, breathing. And once you get those skills down, hand-eye coordination is really important for tennis, table tennis, badminton. I happen to like a lot of the racket sports. I started with table tennis, like Mrs. Evans said, at age 3, and I still play that. But then over time, I really enjoyed tennis. My best friend was ranked in New England, so my brother and I went to go watch his tournaments live when we could. My parents loved to watch tennis on TV, so I had a lot of tennis influences. But what I would say is I had someone, my brother, who really believed in me, and I believed in him, and that is really important. It could be your parents, it could be your uncle, it could be a family member or a coach or a teacher. And yeah, in my wildest dreams, if you told me I would be a 2-time world record holder in something I didn't start until age 15, I would have said that is untrue and not possible. But with that said, we had a mission. We had a personal mission to honor someone's legacy and raise money for charity. And that was beyond our own egos. It was really beyond anything that we wanted to do for ourselves, we want to do it for someone else. And I think if you try to do something for someone else, you can push your boundaries and really make the impossible possible. And it was really cool. In 2008, we set our first world record. We rallied a tennis ball 14 hours and 31 minutes. That became an official Guinness Book of World Records title. And if you look here, this is the ball, the one that's worn out, and that's the brand new ball from the same can, which is kind of neat because the fuzz wore off on the court. And also there's a display at the International Tennis Hall of Fame. So if your parents ever are in Newport, Rhode Island, you can go see our Guinness World Record display, which there's the actual counters that the counters use crazy glue together, and our official Guinness World Record certificate. So that happened in 2008, and we made the books. So sometimes at your book fairs, you'll see a book like this. This is the Guinness Book of World Records, the first one that we're in, 2010 edition. And if you look toward the back of it, you'll see us right there, which is kind of cool. And the gentleman in between my brother and I is the adjudicator. He flew over from Europe to verify the event. We had it filmed and everything to make sure that we passed all of the rules and guidelines. So that was a really exciting time. And then a few years later, we wanted to raise money for the charity Save the Children, which my brother works for full time. And they're a wonderful organization. And so we made the book again, the 2017 edition. We volleyed the ball 30,576 times without missing. That was at the net. So a volley is in tennis, for those of you that don't play, if the ball doesn't bounce, it's called a volley. And if it bounces, it's called a rally. And that one took 5 hours and 28 minutes. And you could see us right there on the bottom there. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's us volleying the ball. And so it's kind of neat. So I have on my business card now, I have one photo on one side and one photo on the other from each of the records. But it's kind of interesting because if you look at the ball for the second record compared to the ball from the first, you could see that even though the first one, this one went 25,944 times, this one went more. This one was 30,576, but the ball didn't hit the ground. So that's why the fuzz stayed on the ball, which is kind of neat.
Another interesting science experiment, right?
Yeah, where does the fuzz wear off in tennis, on the court or on the racket strings? And now you know the answer, on the tennis court. So, both of those records were grueling to do, but even more grueling to practice, rehearse, imagine, and visualize. But I am living proof that if you have a dream and you believe that you can achieve it, you can accomplish anything. But most children, I would say, are afraid to dream because they're afraid of failure. And I will tell you that what I didn't tell you is we failed twice in 2007. The first time we only rallied for maybe 2 hours, maybe 2,500 strokes. Then we restarted that same evening, rallied all the way until 5:09 a.m. And then I missed in the top of the net after 19,490 strokes. That was a US record at the time, but not a world record. And our goal was to set the world record. So we failed twice in 2007 on official attempts. And then on our third attempt in 2008, we succeeded with the longest rally. And then in 2015, on August 8th, Roger Federer's birthday, we succeeded again with the longest volley rally. So we're 2 for 2 in the last 2 attempts, but we were 0 for 2 in the first 2. But I will share with you that we took the learnings from our first 2 mistakes and learned from them. And I'm here to tell you that if we didn't fail, we wouldn't have succeeded. So you have to allow yourself to fail. But remember, failure doesn't mean you're a failure. Failure means you made a mistake or you didn't reach your goal yet. So a great positive self-talk thing that you can do is whenever you have a negative thought or a self-defeating thought, like, I'm not good at tennis, just add the word yet. I'm not good at tennis yet. You know, if you add the word yet, then what it does is it trains your brain to know that the setback is temporary and not permanent. And so that's kind of a cool way to think about it. And the other thing is, in rehearsing for a record like this, we had to train our bodies. So we had to hydrate properly, we had to eat properly, and we had to exercise. But we also had to exercise our minds. So we did a lot of rehearsal, mental rehearsal, or let's say meditation, or just focusing. And just during the day, you would think about what you would be thinking about when you're doing your record. And one of the most popular words in tennis, unfortunately, is the word miss. You know, your doubles partner might tell you, don't miss. And Mrs. Evans played tennis in the past. She played doubles and singles, and I'm sure her partner at one point said, well, this is a big point, don't miss. And what my brother and I realized was don't is a negative word and miss is a negative word. And what ends up happening is if you tell your brain, don't miss, it somehow forgets the word don't, and you just miss. Mm-hmm. And if you try this right now, I'm going to give you something not to think about. Okay, ready? So don't think about the pink elephant. Don't think about the pink elephant. And guess what happens? The first thing you think about is the pink elephant, even though I just told you, don't think about the pink elephant. So the best thing I could say there is remove the word don't miss from your mental vocabulary. So we rehearsed forgetting about what the word miss meant. And I'll say the day of the event and throughout the whole 14 hours and 31 minutes, the word miss never entered my mind. If it did by accident, I don't remember it doing that, but if it did, I didn't know what it meant anyways. So I would say after about 10 hours of rallying, I really felt, probably after 20,000 shots, I felt that I couldn't miss. I didn't have the ability to miss. I felt that it was harder for me to miss than to continue the rally. And that is what's called being in the flow, or some people call it being in the zone. But I'm grateful for the accomplishment, not for the accomplishment itself, but because it honored the legacy of a friend of ours, our mentor. It raised money for charity. But now today, I can use the platform of the 2 world records to help you accomplish your dreams and your goals. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool. And we actually created, from the word goals, we broke it down into a word that you can remember at home. So G stands for grand. You want your goal to be big. You want to put it on poster boards or a dream board above your bed in your bedroom. So that way, every time you go to bed, you dream about it. When you wake up in the morning, you're confronted with your goal and you think about it during the day. G stands for grand. And then O stands for optimistic. And that's what we talked about, having belief, having self-belief, and surrounding yourselves with people that believe in you. So you have to be positive and turn negative thoughts into positive ones. And so O is for optimistic. And then A is for accountable. You want to have someone there that's going to push you, guide you, check up on you, make sure you're doing what you need to do on a daily basis to reach your dream and to reach your goal. And so for that, I had my twin brother, because we were doing the rally together. I'm fortunate that I had someone. If I didn't have someone, I would find what I call an accountability partner. So you want to have someone keep you accountable. Parents keep you accountable off the court in real life. Teachers keep you accountable at school, like Mrs. Evans, with making sure you do your homework. Friends can keep you accountable. So that's important, is to be allowed to be kept accountable. Have someone check up on you. And so that's A. And then L is for long-term goals. And long-term goals are 3 to 5 years. You know, basically, okay, if I do something every day, after 1 year, where am I going to be? And then 3 to 5 years, where am I going to be? Those are longer term goals. And then S is for stretch goals. And stretch goals are goals that you think are not possible. And what I've learned in doing these 2 records is, if I didn't think that I could accomplish these records, then I wouldn't have done it. But I believed that I could do something special with my brother, and I didn't put limits on it. I just said, hey, let's rally for as long as we can. And so to this day, we haven't missed. We missed on purpose. I let the ball pass in 2008, but we could have kept going, but it was past our bedtime. It was a minute past midnight. So we were kind of tired and thirsty and hungry, and we had already set the record by almost 2,000 strokes. So we were already well past the record, but we did stop on purpose. And the reason why we stopped on purpose is we said, well, I want in my mind to remember I never missed, so that if we wanted to accomplish another world record, which we did in 2015, we hadn't missed yet. And because I didn't miss in 2008 and I didn't miss in 2015, I haven't missed in 2 world record attempts. So for me, that gives me a lot of confidence, but also it gives me belief when I try to inspire children and adults to say, hey, you got to stretch your goals, because you don't want to put limits on your own imagination.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so very true. And what you are talking about, first of all, is amazing. And some other little points of, you know, the mental game of all of this. A lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves or others to start so very young, when, you know what, bottom line is, and I tell my students all the time, your homework is to go outside and play, run, have fun. Okay. We're developing our brains by that way. And then as you get older, then you can specify, you know, what your likes are and what your maybe not so likes are, but you're working towards something that you're enjoying and can get better at. And a lot of times we talk, you know, we have my Brain Gym poster back here. We do our neurodevelopmental movements, you know, the commando crawls, the crawling, the crab walk, the hopping on one foot, all of these different types of things, all the different stations and games that we do. It all encompasses all of that. So as every single movement, we're building more and more brain connections to help everything. Which again, not only, as you were saying as before, you can start out as an athlete or a dancer or a gymnast or whatever it may be that you're moving around having fun with, and then you develop it into something. Relate that also into your schoolwork. You know, you're just exploring. Then as you get on, you're focusing more and more on things that you like. There are things that you really may not want to do, but that is also helping, believe it or not, to build different areas of your brain to help you to move forward, because you're going to be doing something that you may quote unquote fail at, make mistakes at. And as you know, that is how we learn. We talk about that a lot too. What you said as well. You know, I can't throw the ball yet. We talk a lot about that in school as well. So all of these things are encompassed into this beautiful time for you to take to the goals that you have set for yourself, and having that accountability partner, finding someone in your family or even a friend. If you can't see your friend in person right now, you can still have contact with them one way or another, whether it's on the phone, whether it's through whatever device that you're using, just to be like, hey, so and so, are you up? Did you have your water this morning? Did you have your fruits? Did you go outside and play? Did you laugh today? Did you have fun? Just making it fun and realistic for you. Whatever works for you. I say that all the time as well. Whatever works for you to build and whatever, keep going on with everything that you're doing, just to have fun and build those connections. So Angelo, thank you so very much for taking the time out. Boys and girls and everyone watching, please feel free to watch this again, because there's a lot of information in here that hopefully you can use in your everyday lives, and especially with what is going on right now. We will make it. We're going to be healthy and happy and keep on moving. So Angelo, thank you so very much. I so appreciate it. And we will be in touch very soon.
Yes, we definitely will. Thank you so much, Mrs. Evans. I really appreciate it. And everybody, remember, believe in yourselves and go for your dreams and goals.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here we go.